Everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something super quick but very useful. So we're going to be talking about how to not make your under eyes crease, right? This is something that I have always struggled with, and I know that other people struggle with this too, just simply because our face we have these little fine lines, and the makeup can settle and crease and get into those little fine lines. I'd like you all to say hello to my little friend right up at the top of my forehead. Yep, he just appeared today. But all I have on my face right now is from, well, I my skincare, which I'll link right up above. I did, moisturizer, all my skincare. And I just have from CeraVe, it's a tinted moisturizer with 30 sunblock in it, right? Which I like to do. And then I just put a tiny bit of concealer up on the forehead and just a little bit around my face. But that's all I have on. So I'm gonna come in close, and yeah, I'm gonna teach you how to not make your under eyes have these creases throughout the whole day, and so that your under eyes will look amazing all day throughout 90-degree weather, 40-degree weather, whatever. Make it look amazing the whole day. So you're gonna need a couple of products, definitely a couple of tools and a couple of products, but it's nothing crazy. It's probably something you already have in your makeup collection. So the first thing that you're going to want to do to maintain your under eyes from creasing, the first thing you're definitely going to want to do is prime your face, okay? And definitely prime the under eyes. Even if that means just taking some type of moisturizer, something under the eye to hydrate underneath, because those fine lines will come out more and the makeup will cake up if your under eye is dry. So if you're going to be using a moisturizer or a primer, definitely put it under the eye first, okay? Then if you're going to put foundation, make sure to tap with your finger, your ring finger, and lightly. What you're trying to achieve is to make sure that melts into the skin, and you're tapping out those lines so that everything just becomes one with your skin. I'm gonna go in with my trusty e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer matte finish. Pick whatever it is that's your favorite concealer. And what you want to do is just, you don't want to, put so much of it on. The point is you want to have coverage, but you don't want to put too much of it on. So really just put it in those dark areas, which would be like in the corner for me, okay? And that would really be all that you would need. Now I like to pounce it in with my finger. You could use a beauty blender. It's really up to you. I tend to like to use my finger because it warms the product up, and it just makes everything, it just makes it stay on. Next step, I would not suggest just going into your powder. It's very important that you press this in, either with a damp beauty blender or your fingers. It's super important to take a damp beauty blender and press this in. Press that in, that concealer. Press it in, okay? Either with your fingers or a beauty blender, any type of sponge. It could be like those, makeup sponges that you get from like the dollar store. It could be anything, okay? But you want to be able to blend that in and seep that in, okay? So we still have that coverage. We still have the same coverage, but we're pouncing that into the skin, into those fine lines, okay? Like this. Next thing would be a setting powder, which is, a lot of people are scared of powder, but it's so important to set that area, especially if you're using creams, you know? So I'm using from ColourPop their no filter loose setting powder. It was like $11. It's so amazing and I love it. And I tend to use it with like a little powder puff that you can get in any drugstore, or you can take it with your damp beauty blender, but you want to put that on with something that's once again gonna pounce that into the skin and get up to those lines that you have, fine lines, and pretty much, you know, tap that in like this. Now if you're baking, because you're doing like a really an eye, like a dark eye, like a dark blue, you could still do this. You could still take the damp beauty blender and bake, and I swear it's not gonna move, it's not gonna budge, and it's not gonna create lines. So you could even do this and let it sit. Let me just get something on this pimple. Okay, so what we've done so far is you've put moisturizer or some type of primer under your eye, or you could just put any type of hydrating or your eye serum, whatever. It's very important to hydrate under there. Second, your concealer. You want to go in with your fingers or a damp beauty blender. It's going to help it from really settling into those fine lines, because if you're pressing it into the fine line, it's gonna settle in there, but if you're putting it on top of it, it's gonna definitely find its way there throughout the day. And then third, you're gonna want to press that in with a damp beauty blender. This is SpongeBob. I mean, this is Patrick, sorry. Clearly it's Patrick. Or you could use your fingers, like I said, or you can use just like a regular damp puff, anything to further press and seep the makeup into those fine lines. And then after that, you want to take a loose setting powder with your damp sponge, okay? Not a wet sponge, a damp sponge. And you're going to just lay it under here, press it in, and then put your mascara on, right? Or like what I like to do, which is bake and then brush it off, right? But for the sake of the video, you're just going to go like this. This is just like a quick, fast version of, okay. So if you go back to the beginning of the video, you can see that I had more lines, right? And now all the lines are blurred, and they're going to stay blurred. And then next, what you want to do, lastly, what you want to do is either take your sponge or your fingers, whatever is available to you, and take a setting spray that you love, you trust, and it, you know that it works well with your face. And for me, it's from Joa Selfie Ready Matte Setting Spray. Looks like this. It has like a salmon pink cap to it. It's dirty, sorry. I love the mist on it. It's very, you see, it just comes out very nicely. So what I'm going to do is just spray my face with it. You want to let that soak in. Okay, soak it in. See, we're drenched. And then you're going to go back with the beauty blender or your fingers, and you're going to further press that in. Okay, further pressing that concealer in. You're looking up, and you're just you're not trying to wipe the concealer away, you're just pressing that makeup into the skin. And what this is doing is it's setting the makeup, but in a more skin-like way. And it's going to last longer, because if the makeup looks like skin, whether you're sweating or whatever you're doing, it's going to last longer, because it's gonna know, okay, see how I had some creases up here? Well, if you're pushing it all in to the skin, it's going to last. You see how my skin kind of looks blurred right now? Like I have like kind of like a filter under my eyes. You see what I'm saying? When I don't, it's important. Or you can take the beauty blender and kind of roll onto them like this. Roll on them and out like this. And that's another way to help to ensure that the under eye will stay like that. You see? You see how everything kind of just looks more skin-like? See? And sometimes, you know, you can't do anything about it. These are just natural lines in my face. You know, I can't do anything about it. I'm talking about those real deep lines. But this is really what you would do. So that is it. That's how to make your under eyes not crease, not, you know, settle into those fine lines. You need like 4 products, your fingers included, so 3 products, you know. And it's really simple to achieve. It looks like this at the end. You can go back to the beginning of my video and you can see how it's all kind of, you can really see the lines, and now you can. It looks like I have some type of blurring filter on and I don't. So those, I can't stress how important those steps are to creating no creases. So important. And you would use the same philosophy, the same products, the same everything, same techniques for the rest of your face. So if you're trying to not make your forehead crease, or marionette lines right here, or your eyelids, let's say your eyelids are oily and they crease, you're gonna use the same, implement the same steps. So I hope that was helpful. I'm sorry about my pimple. He just popped up today. And yeah, I hope that you guys found this helpful. And if you did, please let me know down below in the description box if this helped you. Because I've been suffering with this for years, because I have like deep hollow under eyes, very dark under eye circles, and I do have some fine lines, and it's just because we're human, and that's that. But yeah, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you all in my next one. Yeah, that's all I had to say. I hope you guys are well. Yeah, don't forget to check out all of my music. I'll leave all the links down below, and yeah, I love you guys. Talk to you in my next one.